A smooth sea never made a skillful sailor. So increase your skill by honing your question asking ability through our webinar today. So hello and welcome. I'm your host, Dr. Ruby Gill, and I feel privileged to extend my warm welcome to all on the behalf of lovely professional university. So attendees, you might be wondering the reason of gathering virtually. So let me reveal the reason we are here to witness an incredible session on the topic, honing your development skills, object-oriented programming. So before we commence, allow me to introduce the experts of the day. Mr. Chetan Suri, Assistant Professor, School of Polytechnic, lovely professional university. A highly skilled professional in the field of programming with a specific expertise in Java. He has been an Oracle certified Java professional for several years, demonstrating his deep understanding of the programming language and its application. In addition to his technical qualification, Mr. Suri has over 10 years of experience teaching Java and other programming languages to students of all levels. He is known for his patient and effective teaching style, which has helped countless individuals to develop their programming skills to ready for this competitive world. Sir, it's a privilege to have you on board with us today. Thank you so much for joining us. With equal pleasure, I would like to welcome our teaching nominee, Mr. Pankaj Vij, Assistant Director, Head, Department of Tie-Ups, Division of Admissions, lovely professional university. A cognitive personality who holds a master's degree in management with a keen area of interest in training and development. With an experience of more than 2 decades in multiple domains, including teaching, training, and operations, he has occupied strategic positions in multiple organizations of repute. And today, attendees, he'll be discussing and highlight the other parts of the university as well. So, sir, thank you so much for giving us your valuable time. Thank you so much for joining us. So with this, we'll begin today's webinar. So over to you, sir, and looking forward for a great interactive session.
Thank you, ma'am, for the wonderful introduction. Firstly, I would like to welcome all the participants who have joined for this webinar. So today we are going to discuss about honing your development skills based upon object-oriented programming. If we talk about our title, we are trying to just understand about that. We are going to polish our skills so that we can learn how to develop a software, how to become a developer. One of the most used approach these days, which is object-oriented programming, we will follow on that perspective. So moving forward to our contents, today we are going to follow through, first of all, what we will learn that what programming is. Then we will check it out, hot, short programming languages, object-oriented programming, concepts of object-oriented programming. We will carry on with the concepts, and moving forward at the end, we will just check it out how artificial intelligence gone through with these kind of programming. So first of all, what is programming? We know about several of students, companies are discussing about programming, programmers. So we will just check it out what programming is. Programming is the process of creating computer software. Means we are creating software, we are creating application, mobile application, websites with the help of programming, right? So we have different types of languages which can be used to create this kind of stuff. But the thing is how to code, how to work on those languages. This is all about programming. So programming involves so many steps. While developing a software, we go through with designing, we go through with coding, we go through with testing and maintenance. Moving forward with designing is the first phase of any kind of software development. So first of all, we design the outcome, design the layout of our software, how it will look about. Then we talk about coding. Coding is the main part of any kind of software development. So programming, here comes our programming in main role. Coding plays is aspect of different scenario with the based of logics. that we go through with how we are going to write something so that computer can understand, and according to that, computer can perform on that specific aspect. Moving forward, then we perform some steps of testing. We check it out, whatever we have written in coding, is it perfectly fine or not? And then at the end, we perform some kind of maintenance. Now, moving forward, programming languages, there are some different ways with the help of we can perform programming. So programmer uses programming languages such as Java, Python, C++, JavaScript to write some kind of code so that we can tell computer what to do. Actually, we can see computer is performing so much computation tasks. Computer is doing these days numerous amount of tasks. But the thing is, who is telling the computer to do what? Actually, the programmer is telling the computer. If you guys are going to be a programmer, then you will guide the computer what to do. Means if software, or if what I say, artificial intelligence is working on, then the person behind that artificial intelligence is the programmer. Right? Programming is a fundamental skill. Why we're calling it fundamental skill? Because this is the skill which is required by each and every engineer so that he can work in computer science field. Because if we talk about software development, if we talk about data science, if we talk about web development, robotics, and artificial intelligence, all these work with programming. So moving forward, we are having hotshot programming languages. What is these kind of languages are some kind of trending languages. Now we listen about Java, more on we listen about Python, Ruby, Kotlin, C++. These are several programming languages which perform different tasks. If I'm talking about Java, we can create software using Java. With the help of Python, again, we can work on some kind of softwares, and more on, we can add on with some hardware part. Ruby is a kind of a language which is used for data science and some artificial intelligence. Kotlin is based upon Android, and it is a new language which is preferred to create some kind of Android applications. C++, JavaScript, PHP, all these programming languages are hotshot programming languages. But one thing is common in all of these languages. The common thing is the approach they are following. What kind of approach they are following is object-oriented programming. This is all about today's webinar. We are going to learn about how object-oriented programming works. Means if we understand the concept of object-oriented programming in detail, that means we can master each and every programming language. The answer is yes, we can master every programming language is just going through with the concept of object-oriented programming. So why not we just understand the basic concept of object-oriented programming, and today we will perform practically also that how object-oriented concepts are important, how these days softwares and web companies are using object-oriented programming and using their approaches or concepts to make their software work. We will learn that today. So moving forward, this is object-oriented programming. We call it paradigm, or we can say it is an approach which can be used to generally create something which is used in real world. So object-oriented programming is a programming that is based upon objects. So here object is specified that whatever is related to software or website. For example, if I just take an example of some kind of software, then users are kind of object because users are participating in that software. Similarly, if I'm talking about some kind of website, then again, there are some users which are treated as an object. So in object-oriented programming, we just go through with objects, we learn what objects are. So actually object is containing of two things. Name of the things are attributes and method, which are contained together inside an object. So object-oriented programming is commonly used in software development for building complex applications and modular or reusable, which can be used again and again and maintained easily. Moving forward, object-oriented programming is widely used these days, as I have already discussed with you guys, that each and every programming language which is trending these days is definitely following object-oriented programming paradigm. So we are going forward to check it out. What are the concepts of object-oriented programming? So these are the concepts which we are going to follow in this webinar. So starting with the first concepts, here we are having class, right? So after that, we have object, then we have encapsulation, abstraction, polymorphism, inheritance. These seems to be words, but actually they are not words. They are more than some specific concepts. They are something which we need to just learn. No need to cram these concepts. Usually we see these kind of concepts has been asked in interviews and students try to give some cramming answer, but this would definitely not help them to get any kind of job. So first thing, these concepts are very important. Secondly, if I just talk about, these are the favorite topics of any kind of interviewer. They're going to ask something about these topics again and again. So first of all, what class is? So classes are templates that define the attribute and behavior of object. As I discussed, classes are something which is named as template, which is defining two things. Number one is attribute, number two is behavior. Attribute is generally called as data. Whatever we are having in the form of data is named as attribute. Moving forward, then talking about behavior is something called as functionality. If I'm talking about something Facebook, then we are having user as a class, which is having data in the form of our email ID and our password. Now, email ID and password, the both are kind of data of Facebook user class. Then method, we would have method get data, which is like getting the data from the user, and show data, showing the data from Facebook to the user. We every time just check it out. Whenever we log in our Facebook account, we just have to provide our email ID and password. The moment we press enter, we see our Facebook account opens. Have we just gone through with this? Like if I'm trying to log in and I'm pressing OK, and after that I am able to see someone else's Facebook account. Is it possible? Not at all. Why? Because the concept of object-oriented programming is going through behind it. So classes and objects are taking care about each and every aspect that what thing to be appeared to someone. So this is the practical scenario of class. If you want to create a class. So generally, I am taking the aspect of Java programming language to explain this concept. So here we are going to create a class. So how class name, and just inside the class name, inside the body of class name, we are defining variables and method. So what are these variables and method? As I have already discussed, attributes and behavior. So these are attributes and behavior. Let's take some general example of class and understand what class actually is. So let's take class as a person. Now we are having person as a class. What would be the attributes, which we call it data members or variables? That would be unique ID, name, age, city, gender. Now just think about one thing. If we are creating some software and their person is going to be related, now tell me, each and every person is going to have these attributes? The answer would be definitely yes. Everyone is going to have these attributes. Why? Because these are the general attributes need to be followed. For example, Facebook, if I'm going to create account on Facebook, I have to generate, or I should have mobile phone number, right? Mobile phone number. Firstly, or should we call it like email ID? That is the necessity, right? That is the attribute of Facebook. Right. So here we are having name, age, city, gender. So as based upon that, the values of if there is some male persons like name, John, age 35, city, Delhi, gender, male. So what are these? These are attributes defined. Right. Similarly, if I'm talking about some female, then it would have same attributes. Right, but the values may differ, right? For example, if I am having Facebook account, my email ID would be different. Similarly, your email ID would be different. So attributes are going to be same, but the values are going to be different based upon the user using it. So methods are specifically functionality performed by software, or should I say class, right? So where we are having class person, so what kind of functionalities we are having? We are having eat as a functionality, study as a functionality, sleep as a functionality, play as a functionality. So these are all functionalities in the form of method. So as I was discussing about you guys, example of Facebook. So today we will just check it out and create a class related to Facebook and just go through with it. So for that, I have just shown you one example, and we will create this example right now in front of you to just check it out how actually class is created. So this is a class. So class name has been defined. What is the class name? User. Class name is user. Moving forward, we are having email ID and password as data members. We call it as attributes. So it is defined string because email ID is going to be in the form of characters and numbers consecutively. So string is the email ID and string is a password. Moving forward, we have two methods, which is get data and show data. Right? It would be difficult for you to just read and understand from here. So that's why I'm using one of like software, which is Eclipse. I hope that is software is visible to you guys. So this is a software where we are going to perform all those aspects of concepts of object-oriented programming. So here I am creating one class. So how to create a class? Just right click on this project. So my project name is webinar. Inside that I'm going to new, and here I'm going to create a class. Right, it's asking me what should be the name of the class. So I'm defining class name. It should be like user. So firstly, I will create main class. Okay, this main class is going to execute my program. So here I'm having main class. So what class we were deciding to create? Class user. See, here I'm writing class. If I just change the spelling of class, for example, I'm writing something else, it would be syntax error. What is syntax error? Syntax error is a mistake done in the coding while not following its rules. There are a set of rules which we need to follow. So set of rules says that class should be with double S. So I will provide class space, whatever class name we want to create. So our class name is user, right? So this is my body start and body close. So I have created one dummy class. Inside it, I'm going to create public string email ID, right? Email ID. Fine. So this is my public string email ID. What is this? This is the first attribute of a user class, or should I say first variable of a user class. Moving forward, I will create one more variable, public string, and here is the variable name is password, right? Done. So I have done with my attributes. I have created two variables based upon user account, user class. So moving forward, here I will create one method, which is public void get data. Here I'm going to get data. I'm going to provide whatever username, email ID, or password I want to provide. So here I'm writing email ID equal to, I'm just manually entering this email ID. Let us suppose chetan@gmail.com. So this is, let us suppose, my email ID, and password equal to, let us suppose, admin@1234. This is my password. So I have created one email ID, one password. When I'm calling get data method, it will ask you to input your email ID and password. Similarly, here I have provided my email ID and password. Then what would going to happen? Then we are going to have one function name as public void show data. Right. What is this function is going to do? This function is actually going to perform Facebook operation. What kind of operation this function is going to perform? It is going to check it out, my username, my password, and based upon that, it's going to show me my profile, my Facebook profile. Right. So here we are not going to do anything. Here we are just going to print these variables which we have already input. So I'm just printing this email ID, and here I'm just printing the password. Okay, fine. Password. Based upon this, we have successfully created a class. So this is how we usually create a class. It seems to be a difficult concept when we try to just perform this kind of things simultaneously while learning. This is the best way to develop your programming skills. So I would suggest you, whenever you are learning about any concept, you are learning about any programming technique, don't ever just stick to the books or presentations. Just go to the practical session, just open your IDE or whatever interface you are having and start performing those activities. right? So as we discussed, we have just created a class. Now to just run this class, we need to create an object of the class, which is our actually second topic, which we need to go through. So our second topic is object. Second concept of object-oriented programming is object. Actually, class and object goes hand to hand, right? So what object is? In object-oriented programming, an object is an instance of a class that encapsulate data and behavior. So it is going to handle our data and behavior. It's going to encapsulate, it's going to bind out our data and behavior into a single unit. Okay, I will just give you a journal example. This is journal example just for understanding that. For example, we have television at our home, and we have some kind of remote with it, right? There are so many operations inside a television. So how we can run those operations with the help of remote, right? With the help of remote, we can press the button, and whatever function we are calling, that function would be run on our television. Similarly, we have classes and objects, where classes are going to play a role like a television. It's having so many functionalities inside it. But how we are going to run those functionalities? To run those functionalities, we need something named as object. Right. So object interact with each other by sending messages which are requests to perform certain action. So object actually asks for perform some certain action by providing some kind of messages. Now, what are messages? Messages are in the form of data. It will provide some kind of data. For example, if I'm trying to log in on Facebook, what it will do, the object will wait for me to input username and password. The moment I input my username and password, what object is going to do? Object is going to wrap those username and password securely and move forward and transfer my username and password to the Facebook. Why it is making those procedures securely? Reason behind it is quite simple and straightforward. If my password is not securely encapsulated by object, what would happen? Anyone can access my password if he have some knowledge of accessing object. If he has some knowledge of programming, they can definitely snoop my password and know about what I am providing as a password of my Facebook. Right, we will just check it out. We will try to just manipulate password. We will try to just go through with that procedure also. Right, so here we are going on. The behavior of an object can be modified by changing its attribute by invoking the method. So we can just call the methods, whatever functionality it is, and based upon that, the behavior got changed of the right. So how to create an object? This is a specific syntax of creating an object. What we have to do, we have to create class name. With the class name, we have to create object equal to new class name. This is the procedure used in Java to create an object. So as we have created one class, the name of the class is user. So this is how we will create the object of class user obj equal to new user. If we will try to just write it out, we will able to create the object of the class. Let's move back to our software. So here is our software. Now I'm going to create object of this class. So class is straightforward. Name of the class is user. So here in another class, because we are sitting in somewhere else, so in another class, here I am creating user obj equal to new user. What is going on? My object has been created. So is it important to create obj as object? No, it's nothing like important. It's just an object name. It can be anything. It can be O, it can be obj. Obj is a kind of short form of object. That's why I just mentioned obj over here. User obj equal to new user. With this, what I have done, I have created object of my user class. Now my object has been created. Now I just want to assess firstly the get data method which we are having inside our class. So what I will do, I will just write obj dot get data. Right, with the help of get data, what happened? It will definitely go to this method and invoke and ask for user to provide email ID and password. So we have already provided email ID and password. It has been defined. Now it's fine. Now we will just check it out. Obj dot show data. With the help of this show data, now Firstly, we are asking user to provide input. After that, we are going to give output in the form of whatever Facebook page or whatever profile that specific Facebook is going to give us, right? So with the help of this, we would able to assess these things, right? If I just execute this program, if I just run this program, what would be the output? It will show me that email ID and that password which we have provided, right? Let me just run this program. So here I'm going to run this program, and this program has been executed over here. So you can see whatever email ID and password we have provided is been shown on our console. This is how it will be shown to Facebook, and Facebook will check our email ID and password, and based upon that, they can do whatever they want to do. Right. So this is how the things works under class and object. But now we have a lot of concepts to go ahead. So moving forward to the next concept is encapsulation. Encapsulation is the practice of hiding the internal working of an object from the outside world. It allows for data to be protected from unauthorized access and method to be called in a controlled manner. So we are talking about encapsulation. This image is showing us a great overview about encapsulation. We are seeing one capsule which is containing some chemicals and some medicines inside it, right? So why we are having that plastic capsule? The reason is quite simple. We want to make our that medicine need to be secured so that it cannot change its composition and all. So similarly, we have same thing in our programming language. What is this? We are creating encapsulation. With the help of that, our object will secure our data so that no one from outside the world can access our data except to that person who is actually authorized person to access our data. So till now, we have created one class, right? But we have not followed encapsulation in that class, right? I specifically not followed that encapsulation. Why? To show you what is the role of that specific encapsulation. So moving back, just to explain you how we can just manipulate the data. So let us suppose we have not done any kind of encapsulation. Our class has been created. Someone who is known as hacker or snooper know about that Facebook have a class user, and you guys have input your username and password. So what is going to do? He's going to create the object of that class. So same procedure, that person know the programming, so he would easily able to create the object, right? After that, he will just call get data. Okay, he will call get data method to just ask you guys to input data. The moment you enter the data, now it has been done. Now he can access your username and password. So you can say that how he can access. The reason is quite simple. Your email ID and password is public, right? It is not anything else. It's public. So what he will do? He will just write system.out.println. He will just print your password. How is going to print? He will write obj.password. He will just write obj.password and just execute the program, right? If he will execute this program, what kind of output he will just get? He will get our password, right? This is how our data can be breached. So to save our data, to get this kind of manipulation, what we can do third concept of object-oriented programming, which is encapsulation. We can encapsulate the data so that no one would able to access the data. So how we will do that? We are going back. So how we will do that? We will make our email ID and password private. So this is the example of an encapsulation. We are just making this email ID and password private. The moment we create this email ID and password private, we are making that those data need to be private, and methods, which are the functionality, they can remain public. So you may have one question in your mind, sir, if the methods are public, no one can access the method. Right? Yes, anyone who is trying to breach our data, they can access our method. But method can have restrictions. We can add some restrictions inside the method to save our data, but the data cannot have any kind of restriction. So what is encapsulation? Encapsulation is wrapping the data into a single unit and making them private so that no one else can just breach our data. So moving back here, we will just change this public to private. I'm just doing it private, and here I am writing private. So what would happen if our data is private? Somebody is trying to just take access of our data, just like this user obj, and he try to, with the help of obj, he's trying to access our data. You can see there is a red line over here, right? Let's just execute and check it out. What is the problem? So here I am executing the program. Here, after executing the program, I'm getting some kind of errors. So what are these errors? If I just read it out, these errors. So in these errors, they are saying that unresolved compilation problem. What is that problem? Password is not visible. Now the password is not visible, means you cannot access the password. Means the person who's trying to just hack your data or hack your password would never able to hack it. Why? Because we have used one of the concepts of object-oriented programming, and that concept is encapsulation. Encapsulation is making our data hide from someone else. Right now, we are actually the person who is trying to access our data is actually not the authorized person. So for that person, our data is not visible. So this is actually the role of object-oriented programming and the concepts of object-oriented programming to provide security. This is the main reason that nowadays we are having each and every programming language is following this approach only. The reason is quite straightforward. Now, security is the most important purpose of any kind of website or software. Data is very important. So maintain that data security. We can follow object-oriented programming to maintain that. So moving back, this is actually the encapsulation. So here it is defined as by making the instance variable private, we make our data secure from the outside world. This thing happens same in each and every programming language. It is not different in every programming language. This is the beauty of object-oriented programming, that it is just the concept and every programming is following that concept the same way. But the difference is the way of writing. Does the writing change? The procedure, the concept remain totally same. Right. So moving forward to our next concept, the next concept is inheritance. Now, inheritance is one of the most used concept in object-oriented programming. Inheritance allow a new class to be based on existing class. For example, if I have created one class which is already created, and I want to create some other class but want some features of the existing class, I can do inheritance. With the help of inheritance, I can perform that. So if we want to create a new class, means we want something new to be created, we can call it as a child class. And when we are going to use some existing class, we can call it as a parent class. So don't get confused with these words. Child class means the class which we are going to create. Parent class means the class which is already created, right? Moving forward, what inheritance does, inheritance just inherit the properties which are like data and behavior, which is like variables and method of a class. It inherits other class, means we don't have to write that specific code again. Right, we have already created some base code and we want to use that code. We will definitely go for follow the inheritance. And one problem has been resolved by inheritance, which is redundancy. Redundancy means if we are writing code again and again, same code is written again and again, then that is something which is known as redundancy. Right, we are just wasting our space. We are doing something which is complex. Right, we can make it a little bit linear by using inheritance. So let me just explain with some random example, or should I say some simple example, right? Inheritance just go through with like in our real life also. For example, sometimes we feel like that someone just say us that your face is just like your father, your eyes are just like your father, right? How it is going on? to explain the inheritance, they use the same example, right? Here we are having father and son. So father is actually a parent class, which is having some kind of features, right? Some kind of features inside it. No, son is child class, and that father is just giving all its properties to his son. That is the reason sometimes we see that some children are having same faces like their parents, right? This is the reason for that. So based upon that, inheritance is same like in programming language. We are having one class, we want to use all these features of that class, we will just inherit it rather than just creating or writing all the data again. So we will understand with the same example we are going through from the start. So user, if we are having Facebook, let us suppose we have Facebook, we have user account in Facebook. Let us suppose we have one more account, sub user, and that sub user also need those four things. So here I will show you. We have one class user which is having email ID, password. We want to create one more class sub user which is going to have same things. Right, sub user is something like Facebook is providing us facility that you can log in without some like important detail or without some specific things you can add on with anonymous. Right, it is something like sub user. So I'm creating class sub user. Inside that, I'm providing the same things. Now, this is actually known as redundancy. In my software, I am using two classes. Inside two classes, I am totally using the same things. There is no use of this kind of thing in programming. When we do this kind of programming, it becomes poor programming. So one of the concept of object-oriented programming, which is inheritance, that can resolve this problem. How? Just like this. Now, what I'm writing, here is my class user. Whatever variables I am having in class users and method I am having in class user are going to be inherited by another class. So next class is actually sub user, which is extending all those things inside it. Now that means this extends word is actually providing inheritance. This perform, like if I'm using Java, the extends keyword provide inheritance. If I'm using Python, the other keyword provide inheritance. But the thing is same. We are using the same process to just inherit the properties of one specific class. So here with the help of this extend, we can access all those features of the user class inside the next class. Moving forward, next we are having polymorphism. Now, what is polymorphism? Polymorphism is actually the another concept of if you talk about object-oriented programming. So polymorphism is actually a combination of two words. Actually, poly and morphism. The two words are from Latin language. So poly and morphism are combined together to make polymorphism. So actually, what is the meaning of poly and morphism? Poly means actually many and morphism means form. So in short, if I said, what is polymorphism? I can just say many forms. Right. In programming, in object-oriented programming, we have one specific thing, polymorphism, which can provide overloading. What is overloading? Overloading is something like we are providing one specific thing more than one functionality. Oh, let's take this example. This is one of the wonderful example to just understand this concept. Security guard. There is a person which is security guard, right? If let us suppose one student is going on in college, that security guard is going to ask for their ID. Please, your ID, please. Right. Similarly, the same time, if some faculty provide there, goes there, that security guard will ask them like, good morning. They will just say them, just wish them like, good morning. Right. The meantime, if some higher faculty or higher from administration is going there, security guard is saying welcome. Right. Now that security guard is same, but based upon the things which are coming to security guard, the response is getting changed. Right. Similarly, many forms in programming means there is one function, one method which can perform several tasks based upon what things that method is getting, what messages object is passing to method, and based upon that method is going to perform several different task. So let's just go deeper technically what polymorphism is. Polymorphism is firstly achieved through inheritance and interface. We can use inheritance to achieve polymorphism, and it is basically of two types, static and dynamic. Static means we are just creating some static functions, static methods which are performing more than one task simultaneously based upon the parameters we are providing to methods. Similarly, there is dynamic polymorphism. So dynamic polymorphism is we are not actually deciding at the runtime when we are executing the software, then we just create something calling which is like performing with several different forms, right? To perform static polymorphism, we can do method overloading. We can perform method overloading to just go through with polymorphism in it. And with like when we want to perform dynamic polymorphism, we can do method overriding. We can just inherit the class and change something which a requirement according to our requirement. Right. So this is another concept of polymorphism. Let's just go through and check this concept and try to just perform it out, how actually these concepts go through. I will just show you with the help of inheritance that how we are going to do that. So as we have already created class user, so I am going to create one more class. For example, here I am creating one more class. The name of the class is class sub user, right? Here it is sub user. Now this class is not containing anything. If I will create the object of this class, I would not able to do any specific task, right? The moment I write extends with this class, so here I am writing extends user. Now whatever thing user is containing is all extended by this sub-user class. Now, if I create the object of sub-user class and try to run any functionality of user, 100% I would able to run that functionality. Let me show you. Here I'm creating the object. So here I'm going to create the object. So sub-user object equal to new sub-user. So here my object has been created, same object, right? Now, can I call the method which was obj dot get, or should I say, okay, get data? Can I call it? Yes. Is there any error over here? No error. That means yes, with the help of inheritance, we can call the things of those class which are inherited by the child class, right? If I execute this program, then it will just give us no error and just execute this. Or should I just write one more method of the class, which is obj dot show data. And if I execute this program now, here I'm trying to execute this program, run. And the moment I execute the program, the same output I was getting from user class, I'm getting in sub-user class. This is how inheritance is going on. Now, just check it out. Now, with the help of some other object, I am able to call the methods of some different class. This is actually the functionality of polymorphism and inheritance. Now, why I'm saying polymorphism? Because now you can check, we can call this get data and show data with sub-user object. We can call this get data and show data with user object. Means with the help of different things, we can perform some same functionality, many forms for some specific things. Similarly, I can create some method overloading based upon, we can create two functions which can perform different functionality based upon the parameters we can pass, right? Let's try that. Okay, so here I am just removing this. Let's just understand the concept of method overloading. Okay, so I'm just creating sub-user class, which is not containing inheritance. So no method inside sub-user class. Here I'm creating one function. The name of the function is method, right? So we need to just define public. It's important. Public void method. Now this method is containing nothing, right? This method is containing no parameter, and I'm just printing it out. I'm just printing out what I'm printing, that this function is default, right? Means this function is actually default. It is not having anything inside it, right? Similarly, if I just call same method public, I'm just going to define same method, public void method. Inside that, I am defining parameters. I'm just mentioning that string name. Right now, this is actually, we call it method overloading. What is method overloading? I'm creating a method with same name, but different parameter. Now, same name method can perform two functionalities. Whatever code written inside this method, it will perform that also. Whatever code written in the previous method, it will perform that also. Right now, let us suppose security guard example. Based upon the person coming to the gate, that security guard is deciding what kind of answer is going to get. Similarly, based upon the parameters, what are parameters? These things are parameters. Based upon these parameters, that specifically Java is going to decide what kind of output they are going to give. Right. So this is how actually these things work in programming. Right. So moving back to our slides. Next is artificial intelligence. Now, what artificial intelligence is, right? We listen about this word again and again, artificial intelligence, that how we are just going through with it, how computers are getting smarter, right? We are having something named as ChatGPT, which is giving us each and every answer. Now, can we achieve artificial intelligence using OOPS? The answer is quite straightforward. Yes. Artificial intelligence is achieved by object-oriented programming, means each and every language which is following the object-oriented programming can achieve artificial intelligence. I think it's quite simplest thing which we can define. Artificial intelligence means it is combination of two words again. Artificial intelligence means we are actually providing intelligence to computer which is actually not original, it is artificial. Means we are just asking some several questions to the persons, and based upon that we are creating some database, and according to that we are creating artificial intelligence for computer. Right, it is the ability of machine to perform some basically task which is based upon human intelligence. Right, means programmer is going to design what intelligence machine is going to have. Right. For example, nowadays we are having some kind of AIs which are performing some medical things also. How? They are just collecting the data from all the doctors. They are just taking their research, making a database, and just storing that database in the computer. And based upon that database, our computer is performing several tasks. Right. So can we create anything related to artificial intelligence in Java? Right. Using object-oriented programming, can we create it? The answer is straightforward, as I already discussed with you guys. Yes, we can create it. So here I have already just created a simple program which is just showing you the functionality. If I just go through at the end of this program and just check it out, how many lines it is containing, it is not more than 26 or 27 lines. Right. So this 27 line program is performing some task. What task it's performing? It is just asking some specific question, and based upon that questions, it giving us some response. Right. If I just execute this program, here I'm executing this program. Right. So here I have executed this program. Okay, so it is asking me, hello, here in the output section, here, hello, I am a simple AI program. What is your name? So it is asking me my name. I am just providing my name. My name is Chetan, right? The moment I press enter, now see, this is actually the smartness of a programmer. The moment I add my name, I use hello plus my name. So it's saying, hello Chetan, how are you feeling today? Now, according to us, is this a computer talking to us? Yes, computer is talking to us based upon whatever things we are providing, right? So, hello Chetan, how are you today? Feeling today? So, I am feeling actually good. So, I am writing good. The moment I press enter, it's responding me. That's great to hear. Right. Okay. That's great to hear. If I just write not good, it will give us the same output. No, when I will write not good, not so good, or something like that, it will definitely not give me the same output. This is the thing which artificial intelligence is. If I just show you the code here, everything is provided. If somebody is writing good, it will respond, that's great to hear. If somebody is writing not so good, it will say, I'm sorry to hear that. Right. Is there anything which I can do or something like that? Same like Alexa. We can see that Alexa is responding in the same way. But when you go something beyond to the database, it got failed. Right. So the main thing in artificial intelligence is database. You have to create something which is strong database. Based upon that, then only we can perform all those stuff. Right. Let me show you that fail example, because I have already discussed about this. So here I'm going to execute this program once again and show you what it's going to do. Here I'm running this program. Okay, so he's saying, hello, I'm a simple AI program. So again, I'm providing my name. It's saying, how you feeling today? I'm just writing bad. Now, according to my database, bad is nothing. No word has been defined based upon bad, right? If I will press enter, right? So it is saying, I am not sure I understand, right? Can you please clarify? Now, according to rule, bad is quite simple word. That program should know about it. But the thing is, being a programmer, I have not defined bad. So how I will define bad? Here we are having this specific code. Here I am writing that, okay, we can write response dot equals not so good, right? Here I am writing one more lines, which is or operator. And here I am providing another code, which is that here, wait. I need to just move my camera. Fine. Here I'm writing bad and fine, right? Everything is fine. Now save this program and try to execute this program once again to check it out. What is the output of my program? Run as Java application. Here it's asking me, what's your name? My name is Chetan, still bad, enter. Now it's saying, I am sorry to hear that. Is there anything I can do to help? Right. So this is how we provide intelligence to computer. So we are not providing any specific thing. We are just giving what kind of things you are going to get computer. And based upon that, you have to give the answer. So computer is someone who is taking a decision based upon knowledge we have already provided to our computer. So this is how artificial intelligence can achieve. If you ask me, sir, that means we can create anything like Alexa or Google Assistants at our home. Yes, many students of our university are creating these kind of stuffs. And most probably many students are working in multinational companies and working with these kind of stuff. If you guys get an opportunity to study in this university, definitely you would be able to understand about these concepts in detail. Right, this is just a 1 hour or maybe 1.5 hour webinar. Right, we can just go through and learn basics, and we try to just complete all the concepts of object-oriented programming. But now just imagine if you are working with these kind of environment for day and day, then what kind of output you can generate. Right, so I'm moving back to my presentation. Moving forward, now I will just introduce my school, which is School of Polytechnic. Right, this is how it looks like. It have many disciplines inside it. We can go for like CSE, electrical, electronics, mechanical, civil. These all engineering diplomas are available. You can participate in these diplomas and you can achieve many further things ahead. So moving forward, we have top-notch facilities. Based upon that, we have high-end computer systems in the labs. We have some electrical instruments from where you can practically perform on it. Right, we have some labs, we have some workshops where you can just perform the hardware part. This is a smithy shop, and we are performing some electrical, checking the strength of some specific materials. So in short, in diploma, you are getting the opportunity to learn more about practical so that you can have more hands-on on practical. Right, our main focus is to make you practical oriented so that you can go to the industry or company and learn from there. Right, so we are not having only the facilities. Our students are getting placed in so many companies. So Infosys, yet Deccan, we are having bunch of companies where our students are getting placed. We have some recent student. I'm very proud to just share this information with you guys that there are 2 students of diploma CSE engineering which are placed in Gitanjali company with the 5 lakh package. Right, 5 lakh. A diploma student is able to achieve 5 lakh package. Right, so many students are in CTech, Infotech, and PL Informatic. We are getting 3.6 lakh, 3.2 lakh. These are the students which are getting placed just completing their diploma. Right. Next thing, I just want to discuss with you guys that we are not just focusing on like all the studies and all. We have many extracurricular activities where students are participating. Like we have one world event, we have some project displays where students get a overview about how to present, how to perform outside. Means we are not studying just inside the classroom, we are studying outside the classroom also. Even our students are going to Science City and those big companies. They're they are actually showing their capacities, what they have, what kind of attitude they can present. These are things, these are some glimpses of those events, and I hope you get an idea about that. Based upon that, I just sum up my webinar, and I just request you all, if you have any kind of query, you want to ask anything, you can ask me. I'm here to give you specific answers. Yeah, we can create several things using object-oriented programming. If you just talk about the applications, I can say artificial intelligence, modular things, websites, we can create Android apps, we can create softwares. Means, in short, object-oriented programming is just going in the each and every sector these days. After COVID,
in LPU.
ma'am, actually, your voice is getting distracted.
I believe there is some kind of network lag at your end. We are unable to see the video.
Okay.
I'll mute myself, sir. I'll mute myself. And yes, sir. Carry on, sir.
Wait. Ma'am, I just stopped my screen. Can you repeat the question? It would be comfortable for me to. Yeah.
Sure, sir. So the question is that what are the applications of object-oriented programming, and how can we learn it while studying at LPU?
Okay, yeah. Sure, ma'am, sure. Yes, we have bunch of applications of object-oriented programming, and definitely while studying in LPU University, we can focus on these kind of stuff. How? Because we have several things, like we have projects, we have many things where student can work and learn about object-oriented programming. Based upon that, he can create many applications, and some applications I have already discussed with you guys, that we can work on artificial intelligence, right? One of our student had created our own Alexa. Means he have created own Alexa, right? And he got some kind of prize in competition also. So these kind of applications can be created in our university. And specifically, I just want to mention that in our diploma, that student have the opportunity to create project twice, because we have something which is known as minor project and we have major project. Means student can create more than one application being in just diploma, and definitely that will help the student to get placed. This is the reason that we have several placement these days. Students actually working in a university know about the different things which we can establish, and when the company see this kind of attitude of student, they like to just give whatever package student is wanting. And according to me, if a student is getting 5 lakh package being a diploma, that is a big achievement for a student. If student want to go for the higher education, definitely he can go ahead and learn more about programming and more about the subjects. But I would like to share one more thing, that one of our student has worked in a specific way while learning from the university, that he's now running his own company, right? So this is somehow you can work on these kind of things in our university.
Very well, sir. Very well explained. The question was very well explained, and I was listening to your presentation, and a very effective demo that you have given to the students, young programmers who are aspiring to become programmers. They must be benefited by this immense knowledge that you have given. I was benefited by it. I should confess this thing, and so would be the young minds who are watching you. I would like to proceed on, sir, and since I've been nominated from the admissions department for the description of infrastructures and everything, so I'll give a holistic view of the university. So all students and all the viewers who are watching this broadcast, Now it's my turn to tell you more about the university, and here I go. I hope, sir, my presentation is visible to the viewers and to you yourself as well.
Yeah, sir. Yeah, it's visible. You
Great,
can carry on.
great. Right. So I'll start off. So students, we had an absorbing session by Mr. Chetan Suri regarding programming. If you want to become a budding, if you are a budding programmer, if you want to aspire to join engineering after your 10th standard, that's a diploma polytechnic program. So, well, computer science is one of the best branches. We have got some other branches as well. I'll tell you in the due course of time. So on that particular note, let me just start. Let me tell you something about the university. Students, what you can expect when you come to the university is not only studies. LPU is just not known for only studies. Yes, we are known for studies. We are known for research. We are known for academics. But we are also known for creating world-class sports people, cultural activities, co-curricular activities. Like what you're seeing on your screen are those brave hearts who have brought laurels to the university by participating in the Olympics. We talk about a person like Neeraj Chopra, Bajrang Punia, the 7 members of the Indian hockey team who brought a bronze medal to India after 1980 Olympics. So these were all our students. These are all our students. And who knows, tomorrow you might be one of them. Quite recently, we have been runners-up in the Khelo India University Games. Neeraj Chopra, well, he's the flag bearer. He's a gold medalist, first gold medalist in the athletics championships in Olympics, and he's our student. These are the flag bearers or the people who have brought laurels to the university by earning a package of 1 crore. So academics equally good. Our Honorable Chancellor, Dr. Ashok Mittal, was quite recently called to the House of the Lords, British Parliament, where he delivered a lecture. So starting from the top to the bottom, these are the kind of intellectual capitals that we have in the university. Talking about rankings for any university is one of the most important things. And rankings, here we go. We have been ranked 23rd by the World University Ranking amongst the top universities of India. That's one of the international rankings that have been given to us. The Ministry of Education, Government of India, NIRF. This is the ranking by the Ministry of Education, the Government of India, the Union Government of India. We have been ranked 47th all over India amongst all the public and the private universities pan-India. We have been ranked 13th in the Department of Law. That means we are the 13th best institute in law studies. We are the 12th best in architecture, pan-India. We are the 19th best in pharmaceutical studies, pan-India. We are the 51st best in engineering. Mind you, my dear students and parents, we are 51st in India, and we are above quite a few NITs all over India and such colleges. So our rank is pretty good when it comes to engineering and some other fields as well. We are 34th in business schools. We are 34th in business studies pan-India. And the Times Higher Education Impact Ranking has ranked us 74th globally. So we are proudly Indian and truly global. In the Atal ranking, we have been ranked 3rd. Campus life and exposure, what you can expect when you come to the campus. This is what you can expect when you come to the campus. Well, the year was 2019 when we hosted the 106th edition of the Indian Science Congress. And this was inaugurated by none other than the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji. We have had intellectual capitals like this in the campus, like His Holiness, the Dalai Lama was here a few years ago, giving away degrees in one of the convocation ceremonies. We had 2 former presidents of India and Afghanistan sharing the same stage, giving away degrees in on one of the convocation ceremonies. Some years back, we had the late Finance Minister of India, Shri Arun Jaitley ji, coming to the campus. He inaugurated a startup school. Even spiritual gurus like Gauhar Gopal Das, they come to the campus and give live sermons to our students, to the parents, to the teachers. Yes, these people also throng to the campus. They also come to the campus, not only to sing and to dance, but also to interact with our students, giving away their life lessons to the students. Talking about infrastructure, students' infrastructure is a very, very important part of academics. And let me give you some glimpses of our infrastructure. What you're seeing right now is the library. This is the central library. Every department, every school has its own library, but this is the central library. It's an automated library that we have got. That's a marvel of a building, 14 blocks joined back to back, housing the quite a few departments and the auditorium of the university. And that's the auditorium that I'm talking about. The auditorium has a capacity of 2,500 people sitting together in a single go. Well, that's once again a marvel of a building at the heart of the campus. We have got a mall, and let me take you inside the mall. These are the interiors of the mall. It's got providence stores. It's got shops where students can purchase their stuff. So no need to go outside. It's a city within the campus. We've got bowling alleys, recreational facilities. If you are a health freak, which you should be, we have got gyms with international trainers. God forbid any student falls ill. If somebody falls ill, we are ready with a hospital. We have got a 25-bedder hospital within the university with resident doctors, medical support staff, even dental chair to the students' disposal. Well, that's once again the pinnacle of our success in sports. That's the indoor sports complex that we have got. All our sporting accomplishments are because of this infrastructure that we have got. Let me take you inside. We have got Olympic-sized swimming pools. You name a court, you get it. Badminton, basketball, volleyball, squash court, shooting ranges. We've got all of them within this indoor sports complex. You talk about a cricket pitch, you talk about a football pitch, we've got it as well within the campus. That's a panoramic view of the university. That's a night vision of the university. And students do visit us on our website. That's www.lpu.in. You can take a snapshot of this particular slide. So you visit us if you want to know more about the programs and things like that. That will be www.lpu.in. You can always write to us on admissions@lpu.co.in for your admission related queries or any such queries. And you can always call and talk to our expert counselors on 1-800-102-4407. So please take a snapshot of this particular slide. It's going to help you. I'll just give you a brief demo. Just give me a moment. Right. So this is the website that I was talking about. And on the website, if say somebody is interested in knowing about the diploma programs, as Mr. Suri was discussing about the diploma programs, the Polytechnic school of ours. So if some student is interested in seeking admission with our Polytechnic college, then how to know about it? I'll just give you the paths. So students, kindly stay put. Please take a close look as to how can you know about the diploma programs or any such programs. You log on to lpu.in, that's our official website, lpu.in, you go to admissions. Since we are talking about Polytechnic, that's after 10th. So I go to after 10th programs. I repeat, I log into lpu.in, go to admissions. In admissions, I go to after 10th programs and I click over here. Once I've clicked over here, the page, the landing page will take me to yet another page, and it will show me all the programs that are there that are after the 10th standard. So we are almost there. It's processing, and there we go. So we have got diploma programs in engineering, in management, in medical lab technology, in architecture, in design and fashion design. So we are talking about engineering. So let's look at engineering. So I go to engineering. We have got Polytechnic diploma branches in computer science, mechanical engineering, civil engineering, electronics and communication engineering, and electrical engineering. So these are the 5 diplomas or polytechniques that we have got, means branches in the polytechnic that we have. So let's take a look at computer science. For example, computer science was being discussed. So let's go into computer science. I go into computer science. This is the name of the program, Diploma Engineering Computer Science. It's a 3-year program having 6 semesters in it. So I go deep into it. I click once again and I scroll down a little bit. As soon as I scroll down, it shows me the first thing that it shows me is eligibility. So what's the eligibility? The eligibility is pass with 50% marks in aggregate in 10th with maths, science, and English or equivalent. That means you should be 10th and should have 50% marks, and you should have studied maths, science, and English in your 10th standard to be able to take admission in diploma computer science. Now, talking about fee, you can get to know about the fee. When you click over here on the slider on top, you click over here, that's the fee structure. So let's talk about the fee structure. Money matters. Well, there are a lot of scholarships that we are offering on the basic fee. The base fee is 50,000 per semester, but there are a lot of scholarships. Let's start to see what are the scholarships that we're offering. If you have 80 to 89.99% of marks in 10th standard, or we have our own exam, which is LPU NEST, Lovely Professional University National Entrance and Scholarship Test. So either you have this or you appear for this particular exam and you are amongst the category 3 of our exam, then you get a 50% scholarship and your fee goes down to 25,000 per semester. So straight away 50% scholarship. If somebody has 90 to 94%, 94 or 99% in 10th, or somebody's in category 2 of our exam, 55% scholarship, 22,500 remains the fee. Then if somebody has 95 or above in 10th or is in category 1 of our LPNS exam, a whooping 60% scholarship, and your fee goes down just to 20,000 per semester. And mind you, my dear students and parents who are watching this broadcast, that once you get any of these scholarships, it will stay the same way for the next 3 years, for the next 6 semesters. Is it all that we are providing? No, there are more scholarships that we are offering. Let's have a look. This is the tab. What are the other scholarships that we are offering? Let me click. I just clicked. We have seen on the basis of qualifying exams, on the basis of 10th marks, I get scholarship. On the basis of LPNS, I get scholarship. Or the other scholarships, have a look. We click over here. You do something good, innovate. You are a part of a startup or an entrepreneurship. You get scholarships on the basis of that. You have done good in sports, in cultural events, in research and development, or co-curricular, extracurricular activities. You get scholarships on the basis of that as well. Somebody is a board topper. In my 10th standard, I am amongst the board toppers. Once again, I'm in for a scholarship. There are certain other scholarships or financial aids that we are offering, and they are as follows. It's a need-based scholarship that you get. You get a defense-based scholarship, orphan scholarship, disability scholarship. So these are the multiple scholarships that a student can get. So that's all about the diploma or the polytechnic programs. And I guess the students got the information that would be important for them as far as the fee, scholarship, and infrastructure, etc. is concerned. That's all from my side. I would like to hand the reins back to Dr. Ruby.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for briefing the students about the admission part and navigating them through the process. So thank you so much, sir. And sir, can we wrap up the webinar if you permit me to do so?
Sure.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. So attendees, that's all for the day. My heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for attending this webinar, and your presence, participation, and support was instrumental in making this webinar a great success. And experts, thank you so much. You have brought valuable insights and expertise to the table, and your presentation and discussions were both informative and engaging. And we understand your time is valuable, and we appreciate the effort you took to join us and help to create an environment of collaboration and learning useful to the attendees. And attendees, we look forward to host such more informative webinars in the future. And for that, keep a check on our website, that is www.lpu.in. So until next time, I, Ruby Gill, finally sign off the session. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.